Hi, creepies. I am Reanimate Her.
I know, it just sounds like a porno all of a sudden. Some zombies start stripping their clothes off and shit.
Cat dead. Details later.
We got our ball cleavage back, ladies.
They're coming to get you, Barbara. They're coming for you, Barbara.
Do you want a game and get your jollies off as well? This is Coffee Chat of Horrors. Aha. Dahi, thank you for that host. And yes, there is, Paige. We've got tons of fucking awesome ski slopes. Tons. Yes, yeah, Miss Newfie Girl. We're getting our cold snap now. We are getting our cold snap. Everyone get your pens and pads ready for notes. Yes, we do have Terra Trivia after this today as well. Yep. The answers are actually in the Discord if anybody does need them under Mod General. Is a fruitcake as bad as everyone says it is? I've had one fruitcake that was actually good. Just one. So who here has seen the Underworld franchise or even just the first Underworld? I've seen it a million times. It is a great film. It is about a vampire versus Lycan war that happens. And it actually turns into a nice franchise with tiggle bitties. There is some tiggle bitties in it. Thank you, Jack Isbaza, for them tiggle bitties. I appreciate them. Yeah, I have them all as well. They're a great franchise, guys. And don't watch them in order. Actually, you can watch it with Rise of the Likens. We'll go over the order of them here in a moment. But the order that they come out in is how we're going to discuss it with Underworld from 2003. The budget for Underworld was $22 million. Worldwide, it raised $95 million worldwide. Yeah, they're all pretty good, game. They're all pretty good. Some of them don't have Celine in them, like Kate Beckinsale in them, but they're still a good film. I would suggest watching them all. I really like Rise of the Likens.
With tiggle bitties.
With tiggle bitties. No, I think what we're gonna do is I think we might do Stream Loot's test again. Underworld
With
is amazing balls. Thank you for those tiggle bitties, Demonic Queen and Mama Ducky. Thank you for those tiggle bitties. Often sequels are worse. I agree, but these guys aren't bad at all. I enjoyed them. The story has always confused me just because I watched them in the wrong order. Well, yeah, so Jack Isbaza, Underworld is the first one that comes out, right? But that one's already after the fact. So they pulled a Star Wars, right? They pulled a Star Wars here. Oh my God, we're being raided. One moment, guys. We are going to time out here. We're going to head to our big screen because we're being raided. Hello, little bug. Hello, evil cat robot. How are you? How are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Little bug, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for that follow. Exclamation point raid hype, guys. Help bring this raid in. Thank you, Evil. Thank you for bringing you and your lovely community over here to the crypt to hang out with the horde. Welcome, guys. Welcome. We are going to do what do you mean no video? Nuclear. We're going to do a trailer here in just a moment. Thank you for playing the Necro Raw. I appreciate that. No, not on Coffee Chat of Horrors. I never put a raid scene on here because it's just more editing that I have to do. Hello, little bug. Hello, evil cat robot. How are we? How are we doing? How is everybody doing today? Evil, I'm doing fabulous. Fabulous. I hope you're doing I hope you're having a good day. What did you play today? Good evening, Luke. How are you? I'm going to say Lord. How are you doing, Luke? Balls of them all. For those of you that don't know me, I am Reanimate Her. I am a horror content creator here. I live and breathe horror, and today is Coffee Chat of Horrors. We are going to be discussing the Underworld franchise. So welcome, guys. Welcome. You just noticed my necklace? Oh, thank you. A lady in the United Kingdom made this for me. She's great. She has her own store as well. Oh crap. Yep. All right. There we go. I knew it was going to start up again. And she eats your soul. I do. We switched between Witcher 3, DVD, and Minecraft. Nice. Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with being all over the place. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We are about to watch the trailer to Underworld, and it is the first trailer. We have trailers for each of the films today, thanks to a Reaper 1923. And I don't know how loud it's going to be for you guys, so please let me know if it's not loud enough when we get going.
Gotcha, bitch.
Ooh, gotcha, bitch. Okay, so here goes the sound. Please let me know if it's too loud or not loud enough. Oh, fuck me running.
The war itself had become more perilous.
Is that loud enough?
Had evolved. But our orders remained the same. Hunt them down and kill them off, one by one.
They are the immortal damned. One family lusting for power and wealth.
The chain has never been broken, not in 14 centuries.
Another driven by revenge.
That's so loud.
Soon we'll defeat the vampires on their own ground.
Do you see this human? He's attractive. I can't be positive, but I'm beginning to think the Lycans are following him.
Hello, Michael.
Why are they after you?
Who are you people?
You're in the middle of a war that's been raging for the better part of 1,000 years. A blood feud between vampires and Lycans. Werewolves.
Now, a decision must be made.
Why did you bring him here? You saved my life.
Between an oath sworn centuries ago
A human. He's not a human at all. He's a Lycan.
and a power
There can be no such union.
greater than vengeance.
You'll be lucky if I can convince the council to spare your life. Absolution will be yours the moment you kill Michael.
That is Underworld. Oh, all my stuff is really weird and going off. That's so strange. Look at Frankenstein's monster behind me. Look at Frankenstein's monster. That was kind of funny. That's weird because that sound, guys, was at 100%, and you guys were like, "It's perfect." That was at 100%. I don't know why the audio on Twitch is so weird. It's so fucking strange. Monster had issues. He did. Static Salamander, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for that follow. Frankie was having a good ass time. Yeah, Frankie was. He likes to steal some of my shit. A little too much coffee, right? He's wigging out in the back there. But that is Underworld 2003. Selene, as you can tell by Kate Beckinsale's name in the movie, is in Greek mythology is considered the moon. So Selene, the heroine's name, is the moon in Greek mythology. Now, Selene also has a few other meanings in different cultures, but we're just discussing the Greek. There's a cool mod that gives you Selene's outfit in Skyrim. Nice. Nice. Reanimator, every time I watch that movie, it's always made me think of Cradle of Filth. Oh, I like Cradle of Filth. Yeah, that is definitely a good band. I might have to go and watch this film series. I don't think I've ever seen it, or if I have, it's been a long while. Oh, Static. I think you'll be very impressed with the way this film is. It's vampires versus Likens, and after the first one, it really dives into more of the storyline between the Corvinus family and how the Likens rose. There is actually a a way to watch these, if you were to watch them in chronological order, by 2003, the story is like Star Wars. But if you were to watch them in like Rise of the Lycans first and then so forth and so on, you'd be able to see how it's supposed to play out, right? They did it just like Star Wars did.
Oh my god, Jack Espaza is on a mass sacrificing spree. Thank you, Jack Espaza, for sacrificing all these souls to the Horde.
Thank you very much. Mwah. If you were just gifted a sub, please let me know, and I will tell you two things. One, I will put your name on our sub coffin, and the next one would be a very important little message that I have to say after. Film released for me? What do you mean? Well... Oh, unfortunately, 8 doesn't show up on this one. Good morning, Goth Zombie Girl. How are you? The songs shows, but not the actual squirrel. This is Coffee Chat of Horrors time. I would say Rise of the... You can... It's up to you, really. I mean, you can watch it the way it came out in like 2003, so forth and so on, and then watch them again in the corresponding order. But if you want to watch them the first time in chronological order, Rise of the Likens I would definitely do the first one. I'm trying to think of Evolution is the second. Underworld, I think, would be third, and then Awakening and Blood Wars. But I have to look at my research. How are you doing, Goth Zombie Girl? How is your day going? Now, there was a lot of non-CGI in this film, believe it or not. The director did not want CGI at all. He didn't want any CGI in this film at all, but there were certain sections that he had to. So the actors in this film had to go under wire work and prop training for this film. They did about 2 weeks of wire work and prop work with the actors. A lot of the jumps and the sequences that you see of them flying through the air are done on wires. They did not want to have a lot of CGI because they know CGI ruins most films. So they wanted to have very little CGI, and so they all got wire work training. Hello, Sarcastic. How are you? Yeah, so I would say it would be Rise of the Likens. But again, I watched them in the time they were released, right? I watched Underworld first, then Underworld Evolution, then Rise of the Lycans, so forth and so on. I think they made Underworld because The Matrix was so popular and it made the fetish cyber goth look more mainstream. Actually, I'll tell you why they made Underworld here in a few minutes. So Underworld was just a way of making a movie similar to... Possibly, but did you know that technically this was a comic book before it was even a film? It wasn't called Underworld, though. You enjoyed the film? So did I. Tremendously. We'll have more on that as we go. And the only reason why we received a sequel to Underworld was because it hit Canada and did so fucking amazing in Canada. The sequel and the prequel to the film were approved like that before it hit the United States. It came out in Canada first. So the ticket sales were astronomically high in Canada. They automatically approved a sequel and a prequel. Yeah, before it even hit the States. So that was a really cool tidbit of information that I seen. Kitty, I'm not sure how to pronounce the rest of your name there, Kitty. Welcome to the crypt. Thank you for the follow. I love the Underworld series. Matrix, I enjoy Matrix. I'm not a huge Matrix fan, but I enjoy the movie. I love the first three. Still have to watch the last two. Yes, they're not bad. Definitely watch them all so you can kind of have the whole story in. It's been years since you watched all of them. I was going to watch Underworld last night, but we decided to watch Idle Hands with some friends. It's time for an Underworld marathon. That it is. I would definitely suggest a whole Underworld marathon. Get them all. You can probably get them. So that you saw them on Amazon? There you go. Now, the werewolves in this film. These are... Majority of them are not CGI. The werewolves were designed to be as lifelike as possible by the same guy that brought to you Godzilla. He brought Godzilla to life. The same guy who did Godzilla is the same guy who created these werewolf costumes. These werewolf costumes were huge. These were not your normal like costume that you would climb into and only be a little bit bigger than the human. These were fucking huge. And again, I remind you, the director did not want a lot of CGI. So a lot of the things that you see in the film were actually costumes or wire work to get rid of the whole CGI effect. Definitely, Dahi, definitely. Now, there is a couple areas where there was CGI, and I'm going to tell you a bit more about that later on. Macho Wayne, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for that follow. I appreciate it. Now, Kevin Giroux used his natural voice to portray the Lycan, the main Lycan. So, do you guys know who Kevin... I can't pronounce his last name. It's French. Kevin Gravu, or however you pronounce it. He was Lucian's right-hand man. Do you remember who he is? Welcome back, Orchid. Welcome back. I can show you a picture of him if you guys are unsure who he is. But anyways, he was the right-hand man of Lucian. And he has that really deep, deep voice. That's his natural voice. That's no mod. That's his actual deep-ass voice. Thank you, Jack Isbaza, for giving us a blessing. May your day be filled with love, laughter, and good food. 3 important things. Poop does happen. That it does. He definitely does have a really cool voice. That's his natural voice. That was no voice mod. There was no tweaking to his voice. That is his natural friggin' voice. Yeah. Do you guys know who also almost had the role for Celine? It's going to be surprising on the 3 people that were considered for the role of Celine. Blood Wars is the only one that's not free to watch on Prime. Oh, nice, Goth. Thank you for that information. So if you're in the United States, you would have access to majority of the Underworld if you have Amazon Prime in the US. I laughed when I first heard his voice in the theater. It sounded so fake. Yeah, it does sound fake, but it's not. It's his real voice. No, Cameron Diaz, no, but listen to this. Halle Berry, Mila Jovovich, and Rona Mitra were all considered for the lead role of Celine. Yeah. Very powerful ladies. Okay? Very powerful ladies. Halle Berry, she also played as Catwoman. She plays a lot of strong female roles. I think she would have been good in as Celine. Mila as well. Mila plays very strong roles as women. Storm. She did Storm in X-Men. Yes, she did. But those would be these 2. I can say for sure they play very empowering roles as females in a lot of our films. I think they would have done good. Nope to all 3. Beckinsale. Oh, I agree, Mischief Maker. I prefer. I would, since I seen Beckinsale as Celine. They made the right choice, but I could see Halle Berry and Mila doing these roles. I think it would be a bit different, a different look if either of them did, because Mila is very sci-fi, Resident Evil type of acting, felt to her acting. And Halle Berry, she was great as Catwoman. She did great as Storm. But I think their body language would have given a different outlook to the Underworld as Celine. Most important role of Mila's career has been in my head, right, Joy Toy? Kate is Bay, though. These movies and Pearl Harbor made me fall in love with her. I liked her in Van Helsing. I liked her. There's a ton of movies that I like her in. And there's one movie that she's in like an asylum. I can't remember the name of it, but we were talking about this the other day. Mila is really good in Resident Evil. Right. And I think that Mila and Halle Berry would have brought something different to the role of Celine just because of their previous acting jobs. But theorizing about different actresses, interesting to think about. Well, yeah, if you think about it, and you think about what each of these ladies have brought to their characters in the films that they played in. and they've all played in some very big, empowering female roles, right? They would be great ladies. But yes, I think they made the right choice. Kate is an amazing actress. She really is. She really is. Van Helsing is one of my favorite of her films. I still remember when they were shooting the first movie in Budapest, they closed a part of the train station where my train was about to leave from. Yes, they actually filmed some of this on set, on location. That chick in Van Helsing was definitely... Okay, so Ake, that is Kate Beckinsale. This is the same lady. Stonehurst, yes, Demonic Queen, that is it. No, she looks nothing like Trinity. Just the black suit that she wears. Yeah, no, she looks nothing like Trinity. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut about that one. Now, Scott Speedman suffered a concussion when a set prop that was supposed to be a piece of a wall Victor had just thrown him through hit him in the head. So Victor was one of my favorite characters throughout this franchise. I really liked Victor. I love him. I love the actor who played Victor. I think he's an amazing actor. When he throws Scott through the wall, he actually hits his head and caused a concussion during filming. So they had to actually take a break during the filming so he could heal properly. I'm afraid of rewatching this because I don't want it to get ruined for me like Van Helsing was when I rewatched it last year. Oh, yeah, well... Evil, there's lots of cliches in every horror movie or vampire movie. So I mean that means no one would ever watch a movie if they couldn't get past the cliches in those films, right? Because they're all over the place. If you look and tropes, vampire tropes, right? Liking tropes, which are played throughout every vampire and werewolf film. I saw her in an interview with Jay Leno, and the second movie, she said that the other actor was a sock puppet during the sex scene. No, it actually wasn't a sock puppet, but I do have some juicy information for you when we head down this rabbit hole of Underworld Sarcastic Freedom. You guys remember the attack dogs in this film? You remember how adorable these beautiful dogs are? Well... Okay, so the attack dogs come out on the outside of the vampire mansion. They were actually very docile puppies and very playful canines. They had a very hard time making these dogs ferocious. And if you look really close at them running around outside, coming towards the outside of the vampire mansion, you can actually see their tails wagging. Even though they're made to look ferocious, they really had a hard time getting the ferocious look from these dogs. Down the rabbit hole. Bill Nye was great as Victor. Bill Nye is funny. After watching Pitchfork the other night, I think horror movie cliches will be tame in every... Yes, Jack is Baza. Actually, Pitchfork is on my to-do list. Oh, I was thinking more of the cheesy stuff, like the whole thing with the entire family smiling down. Oh, Evil, I got you. I got what you're saying now. At the end, yeah. I really didn't care for the ending of Van Helsing either. But I got you now. But yeah, those doggies, they had a very hard time turning them vicious because it was really hard because they were playful puppies. But if you look really close, their tails are wagging. So if you rewatch this, take a look for that. Notice that section because they do. They sit there and they wag their tails. You guys know who Michael Corvin is in this film, right? He is like the second main character in this film. It took 5 hours to put him together for his full makeup costume. 5 hours. None of what he looked like is CGI. That is all him and makeup. All him and makeup. Is it just me or we're not the horror movies better before? It depends. I really love the horror movies of the 80s because of the practical effects that they put into it and the cheesiness of the 80s. But the 90s had some really good horror films. 2000 is okay. There's nothing really that screams North American wise that screams out at me. Films that are made in other countries, though, have been amazing. If you guys are looking for outside of North America mainstream horror movies, you should check out some international films. Turkish horror is becoming really big. Get your asses and see some Turkish horror. Some of them have subtitles, some of them are dubbed, but there's a lot in my country for Netflix. They have been bringing in Turkish horror, so I've been getting my hands into some Turkish horror. I'll put a list together of some of the Turkish horror that I've seen. not just Turkish horror though. You have Arabic, and you have Japanese, Chinese, Korea, Vietnam. They have some really good horror films as well. There's some French horror films in there, Spanish. A really good Spanish film that you can find on Vimeo is called Framed. Spanish subtitles, English subtitles. The movie is in Spanish. The movie was made in Spain, and to me, it's a great film. There's a way to have political information in a film without shoving it down your throat, and I think this film, it's an independent film, is perfect for that. I might see if I can do a coffee chat of horrors on it, and maybe have the director, since I actually have spoken to the director a few times of Framed. So check that out. Your fave horror movies are psychological ones. Have you seen a film called Pet Evil? P-E-T. Davy Jones? Newleth, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for that follow. Yeah, Mr. Chico? Yeah, Mr. Chico and Fusa. They're both here. They're both trying to fight for my lap right now. Cinderella. I'll have to look that up. I love international horror. I like international horror because it gives you a taste of what is in other countries and folklore. A lot of Bicycle of Death speaks about this in his stream quite often, where he wants to see movies about some of the folklore in some of the cultures around the world. You can find a lot of that in international horror films. There is, I'm not even going to pronounce it because I know I'm not saying it right. Again, it's a Turkish film, and it's about one of their oldest myths or legends of their time. It's a great film. I'll put the name of it along with the trailer inside my Discord under the horror section. But I will, post it in Discord. Goth, there is a horror sci-fi channel. You are able to post it in there. Newleth, how are you doing? I hope I'm saying your name correctly. But there is, oh, hello from Bella. Oh, yes. She's amazing. I don't get to pop into her streams much because of time zone differences, but she is an amazing person. Thank you for stopping over here. Okay, I got to get back on track. But international horror, there will be some international horror coming to Coffee Chat of Horrors really in the next couple of months. I want to do like March and April, International Horror Month. So basically give you guys a little bit of a taste of anywhere from Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, Turkish, Middle Eastern horror, because there's lots of it. And they're great myths and legends of their time, folklore. So we'll bring some of that in as well. You're looking at pics of pets, and now I really want to watch it. Yes, PET. It's definitely an interesting one. Awesome. Ooh, pizza. What kind of pizza?
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Although Lucian is the lead Lycan, he only ever shifts one time into his full werewolf form, and that is in a flashback scene in the very first Underworld. Reminder, we are talking about Underworld, the first one, 2003, and even though he is head Lycan in this film, he is head Lycan. He only ever shifts into full werewolf form in an actual flashback, which that flashback actually goes into the other films. It's part of the other films. Gavin, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Creamy cheese and honey. That's a pizza? I've never heard of that. I think you got some sound problems. It was catastrophic. Bad sound for some seconds. I got you, Ice. I got you. Elias, how are you? Oh, thank you, sweetness. How are you doing? You do? Awesome, Newlith. Well, you're just in time for Coffee Chat of Horrors. We're discussing the entire Underworld franchise. Can you? Yes, I know. Come on.
The enemy.
Come on. Hide your shit. She's here, right? Come on. Yeah, this is Fusa. She loves her 15 minutes of fame. She's my princess kitty. Did you watch that Turkish vampire show on Netflix? All the vampires were super glam and sexy. Probably not. I'm gonna have to check my Netflix here. My Netflix here in Canada started bringing in some Turkish horror. That's why I'm on it. Like, that's why I've been so into Turkish horror, because they've been bringing more and more in for us.
Thank you for summoning the Llama Mama from hell. Yes, the Llama Mama from hell is here. If you haven't met me, I get summoned every now and again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a sweet kitty, but she likes to lay right on my fucking keyboard. Oh my goodness, Flea Dog, 8 months.
Flea Dog, thank you for sacrificing your soul to the Horde for 8 months. Thank you so much. Mwah.
Nula, you have a great day. Thank you for stopping by. We'll slash you later. What? I'll pet you with the other hand. I won't drink my coffee. I'll pet you with the other hand. Mm-hmm. And no, I'm not doing anything at my computer. I don't need my computer at all. God damn it with your claws. You know, I love how cats need you, but they use their fucking claws and then their claws get stuck in your boob. No, I'm not shaving the fusta. She would be so pissed off at me. I shave my other cat, Kita, because she gets these big knots in them. Do you fucking mind? She gets these really huge knots in the back of her, so I shave her. Have to shave her. No, we're not going to shave them all. So, you know the scene where Michael and Celine kiss, where she unchains him from Lucian's lab? Okay, so that appears in the trailer, but was not included in the theatrical release or on the DVD, but it is in the unrated version of Underworld. Yeah, so there's this kiss that happens between Michael and Celine as she's unchaining him. It is not in the theatrical release or the DVD. We don't see it until you buy the unrated version of Underworld, which is what I have, and I've seen that kiss. It's called Immortals in English. I'll have to take a look at that, BL. I'll have to take a look at that, see if I can find it. I love vampire films. Oh, yeah, she wants lovin'. She wants lovin'. So my one hand is on my coffee, the other hand is on her head. Yeah, I have that problem all the time, Ra. I get my hands stuck on Katrine's boobs, and I don't know how it happens. Now, the name Corvin, as you can tell throughout the film, derives from the Corvinus family. And Corvinus is most likely a reference to Matthias Corvinus, of a Hungarian who was an ally of the infamous Vlad Tepes. Now, I know I said his last name wrong. I don't know how to say it, but Vlad is awesome. And Matthias Corvinus is an actual ally and friend of Vlad, which is also heavily inspired Bram Stoker's Dracula as well. Nice, Goth. Nice. Thank you for that. Thank you for that information there. Fun fact, guys, the unrated version of Underworld is on Amazon Prime in the United States. Game dev, enjoy that lurk, my friend. Enjoy it. But yes, so we know of Corvinus, and as the legend, as the story gets told in the Underworld franchise, you get to actually meet Corvinus. You actually get to meet him throughout the franchise of the film, and you get more backstory of who the family line is. And it said it's most likely a reference to Matthias Corvinus, which also helped inspire the Bram Stoker's Dracula, if you've seen that. I'm pretty sure you have. Now, you guys remember vampire lore that, you know, Anne Rice's Interview with a Vampire has taught us, or most of the films have taught us, that if a vampire is bit at a young age, they stay that age. So if you were bit as a 10-year-old, you would stay as a 10-year-old. And we've seen this throughout the lore of vampires, right? Hey, Underworld totally trashes that, because Celine is actually bitten by Victor when she was a little girl, because Victor and his family murdered her family. So you remember that, right? So Celine was sired by Victor when she was 19, and as an unaging vampire, she would probably look about the same age. Kate Beckinsale was actually 30 years old at the time of making this film. She was a lot younger, because if you remember, as you get through the lore of Underworld, her father made the prison that William, the actual main Lycan, is trapped in, and she was a little girl at that time. Ya boy Zoe, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for that follow. Anne Rice, I liked Interview with the Vampire, and yes, so Kristen Dunst, she was the little girl in Interview with the Vampire, and she was stuck that way. But Underworld completely threw that out the window. And actually, Underworld threw that out the window with the werewolves as well, because William, who was one of the first, he was the werewolf. The other guys, you remember all the Lycans attacking the village people? They couldn't transform into human form. They were actual werewolves. They were wolves instead of werewolves. And thank you, AkeOG, for those tiggle bitties. Thank you for whipping them out upon us.
Reanimate
He
her.
is always watching. Always. So if that's true, you got bit by a vampire at the age of 25. You got that right, Ice. That's why I look the way I look. No. Pussy can't be shaved. But yeah, they threw that whole thing out the window. ADK, how are you? Good day. Good day. How are you doing? An immortal child is what they were. I love reading vampire lore. It is. And it's so crazy how vampire lore changes to different legends as well, especially different legends from around the world. If you go and take a look. Now, back when I was on Mixer, I did a whole coffee chat of horrors, which was a month of vampire lore. I might do that again here on Twitch or maybe do it on YouTube. But we went through vampire lore from different places around the world. And a lot of the places in like Transylvania, Budapest, and all places like that have their own lore. Even in France, they even have werewolf lore in France that differs from different lore from around the world. So maybe I will do that. Snow White, welcome. How are you? How are you doing? Underworld Evolution is my favorite one in the series. Nice, sarcastic. I'm glad you're enjoying it here, Snow White. I am Reanimate Her, and this is the Crypt, and the amazing people that I hang out with are the Horde. We are a community here together. We enjoy horror movies, horror video games, and just like to laugh. So today is Coffee Chat of Horrors. It's my web show where I discuss horror movies in depth, and today we're discussing the Underworld franchise. Go in depth with lore, with trans, and hear interesting. Hi, Fear. How are you? Long time no see, my friend. How are you doing? I will look at doing it again. That was a really big show at that time.
AkeOG, thank you for sacrificing the soul of Snow White 44 to the Horde. Snow White 44, your soul has been sacrificed.
I love vampire games. Unfortunately, there isn't too many of them. I want to play Bloodlines 2. I would love a real role-playing vampire game, to be honest with you. Ake, mwah, thank you for that, host. We're going to have to take a time out. We do enjoy a sexy, beautiful host, just saying. Thank you very much, ADK. I appreciate that. Grant, what is that? What is all those thingies? Oh, subnames. Oh, yes. They'll go, my mods, if I don't like to call people out because they might be lurking. There's a lot of people that come in here and lurk and work, and I don't want to call them out. So what happens is, I'm not allowed to blush, though. There have been times I've turned bright red on this stream. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. My mods do put their names in there. I don't call them out of lurk because they're lurking for a reason. So my mods will put them in my Discord, then I go and I take them and I write them on here. And then if they do come out of lurk, I will show them their names. Skull Maggot, mwah, thank you for that, host. How are you doing today?
Reanimator.
Yeah, like when I called Heavier Grower. Yeah, that was I was a little we turned a little red there. Upset about the night that we were drunk and I took a shit at you. That's disgusting. Oh my god, that's gross. Tisk tisk. Exactly. But thank you again, ADK, for that. I appreciate it. Now we're gonna get back to Underworld. So we were speaking about vampire lore and how Underworld threw that out the window, which they did. Because if Celine was bitten at a very young age, technically she should still be a very young girl. But they didn't do that here. Kate Beckinsale was 30 years of age when she played Celine in Underworld. You're doing good, relaxing after a shower, got your hair cut. Nice. I know I need my hair cut. My sides are growing out. They're like long, they're sticking up. Not a good time. Wait, how long? What do you mean, how long, ADK?
Reanimator.
Oh, water? Thank you. Who thank you, Orchid, for that hydrate. I appreciate it. Oh, she was 30 years old in the first Underworld in 2003. Underworld has was 5 in the franchise. She was 30 years of age when she played Celine. Donnie, how are you? 80K, I'm old as well, my friend. I'm a lot older than people think. But yes, we got some old people up in this bitch. I'm one of them. She was thankful to be turned into a potato for that one. Exactly. Thank you for that water, though. You don't get the squirrel thing yet? Steal! Oh, shit. Stop it, Michael. Michael likes to steal my face filters. Well, you're aging like a fine wine. I'm aging like milk, so we good. Oh, thank you, 80K. I doubt you're aging like milk. You're doing well. I'm doing great, Donnie. I'm doing great, and you're doing well. That's fucking fabulous. I love Underworld as well. Nadra, how are you? Jack is Baza. Have you ever been kissed by a potato? Mwah. Thank you for that, host. I appreciate it. You're beautiful, so however old you are, you rock it. Thank you, Snow White. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the compliments. It's really nice. Now, hi, Sundog. How are you? I hope you guys are having a great Sunday morning. Now, not only does this film have some Greek mythology in it, the character of Celine can be traced to her original origins to the X-Men universe. Did you guys know that? Remember I told you that before this was a movie, it was technically a bit of a comic. Yeah. Yes, it was. And if you're kind of wondering who this was, no, it was not Vampirella. According to Kevin, he molded her after the psychic vampire, the Black Queen, Celine. So when you guys were saying how this reminded you of something else, you're not too far off, because Celine was actually modeled after the Black Queen, Celine, from X-Men universe. Yeah. And Kevin is the right-hand man of Lucian. If you remember him, he is the werewolf with a very, very, very deep voice. He is the right-hand man of Lucian, and he is a character in the film and an actor in the film, and he actually created the idea of Celine after the Black Queen. Yeah, so when you get to sitting there saying, oh, this kind of reminds me of this, this, and this, you're not too far off, because it is part of the X-Men universe. Not Underworld itself, but some of the storyline and the main character is. I do. I have a lot of trailers. I definitely do. We have a trailer for each one, but we're not into Underworld Evolution just yet. We're going to head into Underworld Evolution here right after the rest of the information of Underworld 1. You know the handguns, the iconic handguns that Celine uses in this film? They are heavily modified Beretta 92F SES. They're made to look like a Beretta 93R, but they are heavily modified. Beretta. Yeah, that's cool, right? You love the X-Men? And I do have to say thank you to Reaper 1923. Reaper 1923 puts together these beautiful infographic images that you see here. He grabs them, puts them together, and makes a nice little infographic. He also creates wallpaper for both cell phones and your desktop. And these will be put into my Discord under the NSFW. I know, Reaper, thank you for keeping me on track, because Regal's not here to do it, and I lose focus all the time. So Kate Beckinsale spent weeks living on a diet of chicken and cabbage. Ooh, chicken and cabbage, so she can squeeze into a very tight leather costume. She also suffered during the filming of this. She also suffered from pneumonia during the filmmaking because of the sub-zero temperatures, and that helped her keep the weight off. So she had to lose a ton of weight, and she stayed on a diet of chicken and cabbage. And then the pneumonia helped her keep that weight off, believe it or not. Dark Psycho, thank you for that, host. But yeah, chicken and cabbage. The cabbage part. The chicken part's not bad. I eat a lot of chicken. But that cabbage, we all know what that cabbage does to you. But yeah, that would be rough, Dahi. Definitely rough. But that was her diet
Reanimator!
for weeks. And because her diet, she was malnutritioning her body, she got sick. And so she had sub-zero temperatures and her body wasn't getting the nutrition that she needed. She ended up getting sick and it turned into pneumonia, which then also kept a lot of that weight off. I love cabbage, but yes, it does stink. It does. And your butt on cabbage? Exactly, Snow White. Oh my God, Rhea.
Rhea, thank you for re-sacrificing your soul to the Horde for 5 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Mwah. I hope you're having a great weekend. Thank you for re-sacrificing your soul. Dylan, mwah. Thank you for that host. Dark Psycho and Dylan, I hope you guys are doing good. How come my face filter is still on? I love it how the face filters fight with me every now and again. They definitely do. They fight with me. Why do actors suffer themselves for a part in a film? Unfortunately, many of them do, Sundog, and it's unfortunate because there are many actors who have gotten ill or have hurt themselves because of the way they... Holy shit! ADK. Oh my God, man. Oh my goodness gracious. Speaking of chicken, is it possible to get chicken when he signs? Yes, we can definitely do that as well. Oh my God.
ADK, thank you for the mass sacrificing of souls
Reanimator!
to the Horde.
I'm actually going to, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that as well, Donnie. She had to fit into that and completely underneath, yes. ADK, thank you so very much for sacrificing all of those souls to the Horde. I appreciate it. Mwah, thank you so very much. You don't have to do that. But thank you so much. I know Tom Hanks suffered himself for Castaway. Yes, he did. A lot of them do. A lot of them do. I wonder how fast Kate Beckinsale got out of that PVC suit eating cabbage and nothing but cabbage. Whispers, yes, I do. No, you don't. But I appreciate it. Thank you for taking your hard-earned money and throwing it upon us here at the crypt. I do appreciate it. Look at that. And my alerts are still going off. I got her out real quick. Right, Serial? But yeah, she was sick on top of that with a bout of pneumonia. But I couldn't imagine how thin she got because she was super thin in Van Helsing as well. 26 to take out the, oh my God. Oh my goodness, ADK. You're crazy. You're doing well watching. Oh, nice. I'm glad you're enjoying your coffee. So am I. I'd cut that suit off to get out. Yeah. But she was able to get out of that. We are going to talk about the sex scene as well. We all know about that scene. Yeah. And we all do know that she was involved with one of the actors who then she ended up marrying the director. Which is a crazy trying. Holy shit. ADK. ADK. You are off the fucking hook. Like, my body's gonna freak the fuck out now. Like, holy shit. I just lost my chat. My bot's freaking the fuck out and I just lost my chat. 80K is breaking stuff up in here. Oh my God.
80K, thank you for sacrificing 26 Horde member souls. Oh my God.
Mic drop and walks away. That is definitely right. A mic drops and walk away. Holy shit, 80K. Thank you. Thank you so very much. You definitely know that. Oh my God. You definitely broke people. You broke me. Broke my chat. Thank you so very much. Like, seriously, thank you. Thank you for spending your hard-earned money on me and the Horde. I'm greatly appreciative. Thank you. If I broke you, hell yes, you did. You did. My new PC has finally lagged, right, Mischief Maker? Right? That you have broke a record as well, 80K. That's the first time at one time 26 subs were dropped at one time. So that is a fucking record that has been broken here. Pocket Goth, welcome to the crypt. Thank you for that follow. But yeah, you definitely broke a lot of things, and you broke a record because we've never had that many dropped in just one sitting before. So thank you very much. Every channel I visit gets massive subs within minutes. possibly Snow White. I do know many of the Horde members do love giving subs to other people because it's a feel-good thing as well, where you put a smile on somebody's face, which is always nice. And we always ask for people to pay it forward. You don't have to renew your sub here in 30 days. That's not what we're about. If you do renew it, great. But it's not something to be welcomed here. You don't have to renew it in 30 days. I'm glad to be a part of the family. Not literally, but you get it. Of course, ADK. And thank you for being here. Thank you for wanting to be a part of the Horde and hanging out with us. And thank you for, mass sacrifice. I can't even speak. Mass sacrificing. Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay. Let's get back to the Underworld. Celine in Marvel Comics is over 17,000 years old. Oh my God. This Monster Squad. Thank you so very much.
ADK, thank you for re-sacrificing your soul to the Horde for 2 months.
Thank you. Mwah, and thank you. Mwah. Double kisses for that mass sacrificing right there. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, she is in the Marvel Comics. Yes, and she is part of the X-Men universe. Now, while their characters were opposite of each other in the supernatural war, Kate Beckinsale and Michael Sheen were really a couple. They were in a long-term relationship. They are now separated, but they had a kid together. And that kid becomes part of this film franchise as well in the later films. She also marries the director. So not only did she have a long-term affair with Michael Sheen, but she also ended up marrying the director of Underworld later on, down the road. Obviously down the road. Definitely, I love paying it forward. I can tell this community is love within this beautiful soul, right? We enjoy each other's company here. We enjoy each other's company and time over the money. Time is very important. It's something that we can't get back, right? You can't go in and say, I need a refund for the last 5 hours that I sat in someone's stream, but you can get a refund on anything else that you do except for your time. So we definitely like giving you that time. ADK does. I know he does. Dark Psycho. I met ADK in Bicycle stream. That is how I met ADK. I actually met majority of Bicycle of Death's community in his stream. You didn't know that. Yes, Sarcastic. Are they still together? No, they're not together. She is now married to the director of this film. I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but his name is in my notes here. No, unfortunately, Alan, we can't turn back the clocks and give you back that time. So I always try to make your time, which is the most valuable thing here, worth it. This entire stream is my oh, well, thank you, Pocket Goth. I love horror. I live and breathe it. When I say I live and breathe it, I live and breathe it. It's just part of my world, part of my life. It's not just a genre of a movie style for me. Hello, Dr. Bacon and Beer. How are you? All of my clothing is horror movies. You know how people have t-shirts from bands? All of mine are horror movies. My entire wardrobe is horror movies. Len Weissman, that is it. That is it. That song started because it's part of Dr. Bacon and Beer's SFX. Oh my goodness, Ake.
Ake OG, thank you for sacrificing the soul of Pocket Goth to the Horde. Pocket Goth, your soul has been sacrificed.
Yes, I'm a little demonic in certain things. Mwah, thank you very much, Ake, for that. Now, Pocket Goth, who are the people in the photo? So in the video that you see here, that video is of all the people who have either won merch or have bought merch from my store. That idea I got from, oh God, a couple years back from Bicycle of Death when I was on Beam. So her marriage was a horror movie too, so she remarried. Yes, she did. She did remarry. And he really is a legend, ADK 46er. He's like, seriously, a legend. Yes, that's who that is. Yeah. While calling someone out of a lurk, they may be killed by a zombie you're fighting. Possibly. We don't call them out though. We allow them to slowly lurk out of the shadows and come out of the shadows. Yes, Les Wiseman. Oh, they're no longer married as of 2019. Well, there you go, guys. They're no longer married as of 2019, so she is available. Slaps the lurkers. Our last little bit of information on Underworld itself. The first Underworld film became the subject of a copyright infringement lawsuit by White Wolf Inc. And the plot of the film was based. So now, White Wolf Inc. and Nancy A. Collins, in September of 2003, put a lawsuit in against the Underworld film. The author claimed the plot of the film was based entirely on her short story, The Love of Monsters, published in 1994, which involves forbidden romance between vampire and werewolf. So they settled out of court for an undisclosed amount of money. I love to showcase the Horde. Orchid is right. And the reason why I love to showcase the Horde is because without you guys, there would be no content. Like, there would be no stream. I wouldn't be here sitting here doing what I love doing if it wasn't for you guys. My credits also have an overlay where everybody is showcased on there. So whether you typed hi into the stream or you lurked or you hosted or whatever you did something in here, your name goes up on my overlay. I give back because you guys give me so much. You give me your time. And the fact that you give me your time and you hang out with me and you're my friend, and it's not about the money here. And I like giving back to the Horde because we are a family. We hang out outside of stream. We're there when we need each other. We're there when the good times and the bad times, right? So I always like to give back. And I love you as well, Orchid. We are also normalizing telling your friends that you love them. FYI, I think you're hosted often on my page as part of the CTC. Oh, well, thank you, Snow White. Thank you. I did not know that. Ra, Horde, our family. We really are. We hang out outside of stream. I don't just see you guys during stream. We hang out in Discord. We play games together. We sit in Discord calls. We chat. We hang out in music. So we do a lot of things outside of the stream. Who would win between a vampire and a werewolf? I would have to go werewolf. How are they fighting, Ice? Are they fighting with guns like Silver, like in the Underworld film, or are they just outright physical fighting? I would have to say werewolf. I would have to say werewolf would win. And why? Because a vampire can be killed in like 5 million ways. No guns, so just physical fighting? Oh, werewolf, twice the size. You ever look at a werewolf compared to a vampire? Vampires can't grow, right? So if you actually go with the morphing of the body, so they could turn into a bat and they can turn into their human form. A werewolf can turn into their human form and then they double in size in their werewolf form. So you got to think about it. You have a guy who's maybe, let's say 5'10", who turns into like 7'1" when he turns into a fucking werewolf. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Sarcastic. Awesome people make up an awesome community. That's all that is, right? Hi, it's Vlad. This time I changed my name. Hi, your name is Blue and I'm having a hard time seeing it, but it's Mev. How are you? Welcome back to the stream. So that was our last little bit of Underworld 2003. I'm now going to show you a trailer for Underworld Rise of Likens, which was released in 2009. But don't vampires have super strength speed? They do, sort of, kinda. And they could fly around really fast going back and forth, but one hit from a werewolf and you're down. We've seen that quite a bit. We've seen vampires die in Underworld, especially the scene on the train where they go after the older ones, right? And those vampires didn't have a fucking chance. They came in and ate the shit out of them. Literally. That's the whole feud, because vampires are afraid of werewolves and resolve and basically castrate them to control their population. They definitely do, Joy Toy. Vampires are dead. They're dead, so I don't even know how they get a hard on because they're fucking dead. But if you go by tradition, werewolf lore, they can only turn on full moons. If you go by old lore, BL. So we really have to get into it. Whether are we going by lore? Or are we going by what we do in the shadows type of werewolves? Like, what are we doing as Underworld werewolves? What we do in the shadow werewolves? Or are we going by true lore when it comes down to a vampire versus werewolf fight? Darth Harmit, thank you for that host. I gather it depends on what lore we're going on. I know, sorry, focus. It is definitely Underworld Evolution was in 2006. It is definitely a great film. It's not my favorite out of the franchise. Rise of the Lycans is my favorite out of the franchise. And no, you don't see Michael and Celine throughout the entire franchise. There are areas that you don't see them at all. Snow White, enjoy that lurk. Enjoy it. They are all amazing. Red Pool, yep, we are talking about the Underworld franchise. It is definitely a great series. Sometimes, they get shitty, right? We see the first movie and then the second movie, the third movie. Usually after the third movie, the fucking wheels fall off of everything. Look at Hellraiser, right? But Underworld kept it together. Underworld has gone through and all of their series are good. I can't say any of them are really horrible or bad. They do the Star Wars thing, right? So they start off with a version of the film, and then they go into the third one, which I believe is the third one, is the Rise of Likens. Technically should be the first one. It's one of your nice Sundog. Nah. So if you start with Rise, what is the correct order? I'm gonna have to go through my notes because there is a correct order to go through. But it's somewhere in my notes here. I'm not 100% sure where. Nice, Red Pool. Nice. So the budget for Evolution, which was released in 2006, was $50 million. After that, the worldwide was $113 million. As you're going to notice, there's going to be certain ones that are the money-wise, they do really well. The very first one did okay money-wise. It did make a profit, but nothing like Evolution in 2006. Evolution did $113 million. Yeah. What have I done wrong with Hellraiser? Have you seen the entire franchise, Alan?
Big old bitties.
Have you seen the entire franchise of Hellraiser? The wheels literally go flying off the bus after 3. Like, blows you away how. Orchid, thank you for those tiggle bitties. Thank you. Thank you so much. I know the right order, but I'm not saying it though. Oh, no, you can say it, Darth. Go right ahead. Yeah, Hellraiser gets properly fucked like Serial says after 3. 4 is like, what the fuck are you doing? 2 is right? 3 is like
Animator.
But 4, take a good look at who directed. Oh, I know who directed Hellraiser 4. I actually did a Hellraiser coffee chat of horrors. I did it twice already. One for Mixer and one for Twitch. Yeah. There's a few of them that went right to video, right? They said fuck the movie. They doing right to video. I know, Riggs, I'm focusing. Okay, so Underworld, Evolution. The little girl that plays Celine is Lily Mo Sheen. She is the daughter of Kate Beckinsale and Michael Sheen. That she is. So she plays Celine, the little girl in Evolution. That is their daughter. Remember, I told you that Michael Sheen and Kate Beckinsale had a long-term relationship. So they had a kid out of that one. And then she started dating and married the director. Yeah, Hellraiser 4 was me, and I'm sorry about mods. Yes, possibly. I'm going to try to go as fast as I can. According to Tony Curran, he stipulated in his contract that he wanted to be able to keep his vampire fangs in at all times, even when he wasn't filming. Now, Tony Curran is one of the main characters in this film that you see, and he wanted to keep, their actual daughter, Sundog. Yeah, they actually had a kid together. They were never married. They were together. They ended up having a kid together. They broke up, and then she started dating Les and married Les, who now they're no longer together as of 2019. If you never watched Angel, I would have never watched Underworld. Angel, the TV show, the TV show off of Vampire Slayer, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Hi, sir. How are you? So anyways, going back, Tony wanted to wear his fangs at all fucking times. There wasn't a place anywhere that he did not want to wear them. So he had it stipulated in his contract that he can wear them at all times. Yeah, okay, I've seen it. I've seen Angel. Zeta, who played Amelia in this one, had to have her lines dubbed over her because the microphone wouldn't pick up her voice. She was very soft-spoken. And Amelia was one of the ancient vampires that was on the train. She ends up dying on the train. Well, the werewolves get her and drain her of her blood. So when she was speaking, she's so soft-spoken that the mic would not pick up her voice, and so they had to dub her voice over the scenes. You would never notice that her voice is actually dubbed over those scenes. They did a really good job of that. The second one is the love scene between Michael and Celine. We're all waiting for this one. So the love scene between Michael and Celine ran a lot longer than intended and was shot with full nudity from both performers on set. Kate Beckinsale then requested not to feature any shots that showed her fully nude. That's why you see the scene of her going into a climax and then it fades out to black and then fades back in and fades out to black. That was done on purpose. Their sex scene was close to 2 hours long when they were doing it live, and they were naked. They were fully naked, both characters. And she did not want any part of her naked body shown at all in this film. So when you see him in the car and she's on top and she's going to her first orgasm, that they fade out, right? That's why, because you get to see her upper part of her body and she did not want that. And then it fades back in to that scene again and then fades back out because there's lots of nakedness throughout that. Crimson, how are you? How is your day going? Yeah, right? Sounds like the same thing with Emilia Clarke with Game of Thrones. Yep. The opening battle that you see for Evolution was filmed on a ski range with the hope of a heavy snowfall. In the end, snow only came in hours before filming and what was supposed to start. The snow on screen is completely natural and not man-made. She is not naked in any of them. And that was part of her contract. So even if you were to get an uncut viewing of this, you will not see her naked in any of it. That was part of her contract. They would be violating her contract if they put that actual extended scene in there. And of course, you don't want to be sued, so they will not. But yeah, that scene is not in there. Y'all gonna hate me, but that Underworld sex scene is the exact same thing as the sex scene from Matrix 2. We only see her naked in our dreams. Yeah, or a Google search. But that scene will not be in there at all because it was part of her contract. Now, all of that snow that you see in the opening fight scene is all real snow, not man-made. And that is all the research. We don't have a lot of research for the rest of the films. There's very little research in them, unfortunately. So the next one that we're going to watch is Rise of the Lycans. We're going to watch Rise of the Lycans, which is the third part in this film. It's one of my favorites. Let me just get past this ad because I'm not advertising other people. Come on now. Skip ad. Are you not playing? It doesn't want to play. All right. Yep, that's loud. And this is Rise of the Likens. Yeah, I know. I'm going to show it again. Actually, it's not letting me show it again. YouTube is not letting me play it. It's just buffering. Alrighty then. Well, we're not going to watch it. We're just going to close out of it. It's just buffering for me on YouTube. Yeah, enjoy that lurk, Reegs. Enjoy the rest of your day. So, Rise of the Likens, 2009, was released in 2009. The budget for this film was a lot lower than the rest of the films. This one was only $35 million. And worldwide, it only brought in $92 million. More of a profit, but it did not have the budget as the other two films, which we know is $50. I seen DMA talk about your channel. She said I would like it here. Well, thank you, Red Bull. Yes, I know who DMA is. She's pretty awesome. Keeping awake up with, you keep waking up with headaches. Is there any particular reason why, Nidra?
With tig old biddies.
Jack is Baza. Thank you for whipping out them tig old biddies and dropping them upon us. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I hate waking up with headaches. That happens to me. Now, we've seen Lucian throughout this film's franchise, right? So we know that in this one is a backstory of Lucian. And there is no mention of Lucian's father at all in this film. At all. We know that his mother is shown as a werewolf, but we don't see Lucian's father. There is speculation on who Lucian's father is, you know, outside of the film, but they don't show you who his dad is at all. Was he half human? Was he another werewolf? Was it William? Which we learn William later on, about William later on. So nobody really knows, and it's never actually told who Lucian's father actually is. We do see the mother, and we do know that he was born human to a werewolf, and then he became the leader of the werewolves during the slave time in Rise of the Lycans. So if you rewatch Rise of the Lycans, you're gonna notice something as well. One can notice several cases of the Lycans and werewolves losing only the top half of their heads, right? So when you watch the Rise of Lycans, a lot of the fight scene, you're going to see Lycans losing their heads. This was due to the special effects crew reusing the cosmetics used for William in Evolution, who was gruesomely slain in the same way. So they are reusing some of the film from Evolution into the Rise of Likens to keep down the budget. As you know, in the previous two films, the budgets were around $50 million. In this one, the budget is a lot less, and it's only $35 million. And that was because they started using some of the film sequences that you've seen in the previous ones into this film. No, he's not a vampire.
Come here.
You already played, yeah. Awakening is next, but I haven't. I know that, Reaper, and it wouldn't play. I wanted to play it again, but it wouldn't play. So we are on Underworld Lycans now, Rise of the Lycans, and then the next one will be Awakening in 2012. I'm going to watch the DVDs after the stream. Nice, Red Pool, and you can pinpoint some of the things that come out of this one. Victor killing Lucian's mother is similar to how it was revealed that he was responsible for killing Celine's family, making Lucian and Selena alike. That's another thing to note in this film, where Victor killed Lucian's mother, right? And if you've watched the franchise, you know that Celine's family was murdered the same way by Victor. And the reason why Celine's family was murdered by Victor was because he created the fortress or the prison that held William in, right? So Victor came along and wiped out the entire family, but didn't wipe out Celine as a little girl because she reminded him of his daughter, who he then murders, right? So as you watch the film's franchise, the story and the lore gets a little fuckery. But if you watch it in the different order, as Rise of Likens first, and then you go backwards and you separate them and you set them that way, you'll actually get the storyline properly. Like again, I repeat myself again, they did it just like Star Wars. And yes, first film in the franchise where Kate Beckinsale is not seen as Celine. So we see her in the other two, but in this one, you don't see her at all. And it's the same for Michael as he goes through. Rana Mitra for this one, who played, so Rona is the lady who is Victor's actual daughter. She was supposed to play the part of Celine originally, but they put her on as Victor's daughter instead. Welcome back. Welcome back. I know, but didn't the guy in the ship say Marcus was his son and Lucian? No. Marcus, so William is the son, right? He's the one that was locked away in the vault, in the prison. Okay, so the next one is going to be Underworld Awakening. And that one was released in 2012. And at the end, I'm going to tell you guys one of the orders you can watch them in. There's a lot of different orders you can watch them in, especially if you talk to fans, like really hardcore fans of the Underworld series. But Underworld Awakening was released in 2012. The budget for this one was $70 million. Worldwide, it hit $160 million. this film actually takes place in 2015, even though it was made in 2012. And you have 100,000, what'd you say, 100K in skulls? Nice. I enjoyed all of the films. So Celine kills a total of 70 people and Likens, making this her highest kill count in the series. So she has the highest kill count in Awakening 2012 between humans and Likens that she kills. The first film's release date was the Underworld Evolution in 2006. This film was released 6 years earlier. So Evolution was released 6 years earlier on this day, on the same day that Underworld Awakening was released. So William and Marcus was his son. That would make him Lucian's dad. But Lucian's mom was an actual werewolf. We don't ever know who his dad is. There's a huge debate. If you really want to get in on the debate, there is a huge debate on Wiki Fandom for Underworld talking about Lucian's father, actual father. You can definitely go and check that out. In the original script, this actually was written in early 2011. Celine's death dealer outfit is not in the same room where she left it after she wakes up, and instead she wears a thin medical gown similar to the one that the main character Alice wears in the first few scenes of Resident Evil Apocalypse from 2004. Throughout most of the story until she finds a similar outfit in the Vampire Coven and changes into it after the gown starts falling apart from the filth and blood following the previous action sequence. Thank you, Orchid, for whipping out them tickle bitties. I appreciate him. Thank you. So you can see that when she wakes up, there is no outfit for her to wear. She wears a gown, which is a throwback to Alice in Resident Evil Apocalypse in 2004, where that same storyline happens. She wakes up and she's in a hospital gown. And she doesn't find an outfit until she gets to the Vampire Coven. If you want, Kristen, you go right ahead. I know you like flashing them tickle bitties, and I love it as well. Also, the company that was in this film was originally called Biocom, right? They changed the company's name to Antigen. So you get a little bit of a feel of Resident Evil vibes in this film, in this one. So if you rewatch it and you've seen Resident Evil films, especially 2004, you'll be able to see some of the influences of Resident Evil in Awakening for 2012. What's for PS2? Underworld? Yeah, the Eternal War. Blood Rain, like Stereo said earlier, was a good video game for PlayStation. I own all of the Blood Rain. I think it's a really good game. Good morning, GI. I love your face, you beautiful lady with a heart of gold. Just wanted to say hi. I'm going to do my lurking and enjoy the show. No worries, GI. No worries. I hope you enjoy your Sunday. And there is not much, like I said, there isn't much research on the following films because there just isn't any. I find that with a lot of the franchises that the research on them get less and less as you go on. So for Evolution, there was only this little bit of information here, which was the original company in the film was called Biocom. They changed it to Antigen. Hello, Rukia. How are you? Yeah, and his love was Victor's child, my best part of Rise of Lycans. Raymond, how are you doing? Hello. How's your day going, Rukia? Uh-oh. I just went back to the beginning. Oh, no, I didn't. Perfect. I am doing fabulous. I cannot complain. We're just getting on with the storyline of Underworld. And according to most fans in Underworld, to start watching this, if you want to watch it in actual order, start with number 4, number 5, number 6, then 1, 2, and 3. That is what I have written here. I found this on a few Reddit forums and from the fans on Wiki Fandom as well. For Underworld, a lot of them were saying to watch it 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, and 3, just like the Star Wars. Research gets less and less because films writing gets worse and worse. Possibly, Sword, possibly. You got to get going, got to go to the market. No worries, serial killer, love your guts. Be safe out there. It's fucking cold. It's snowing. It's cold here, Orchid. I don't know if it's snowing, but it's fucking cold here. We're going to watch the trailer for Blood Wars 2017. Nope, I've just refilled it in between trailers. You're doing okay? Trying to work out a bit? Dude, oh no, Raymond, I hope your injury is not... And that is Underworld. Now, according to the research that I have found on number 6 and number 7, yes, number 6 and number 7, Len Weissman does say that there is a 6th and a 7th film coming. Now, Underworld Blood Wars did not do great in the theaters. I mean, it did okay, but not like the other films. There is information, though, that there is planned for a 6 and 7. And there is a story fandom out there for number 6. And Len did say that there is plans for a 7th. You woke up with scratches and bruises, Raymond? That's not good. Hey, Rod, thank you for the recommendation. I just watched In the Mouth of Madness. I don't know why I've never seen it. I absolutely loved it. Horror Freak, isn't it such a great fucking film? The characters in Cyberpunk are crazy good. Yes. Why do we tell actors to break a leg? I don't know, Christian. Why? Yes, they were, Sundog. Halle Berry and Mila and Rona were all choices for Celine. Rona plays Victor's daughter in The Rise of Lycans. She was actually going to be Celine, but when Kate Beckinsale tried out for it, they picked Kate over Rona. So that's how Beckinsale got the part for Celine. And Blood Wars isn't bad. It's not horrible. It's not the best one in the franchise, but it's not horrible. It's not like it really went off the rails. Like majority of these franchises happen usually after the second or third one, shit gets real crazy. They go into outer space and all sorts of fucked up shit happens. But in the Underworld franchise, you don't get any of that. Nobody goes into outer space. Their films actually become really good, and they're not a horrible thing to watch. Because every play has a cast. Ha ha ha. I got that. We will have Terra Trivia right after this. So this film was released, Blood Wars, in 2017. The budget for this film, again, $35 million. The worldwide, $81 million. So it didn't do as good as the previous films. And a lot of fans thought that number 6 and number 7 would be canceled. There are plans for it. No exact day. There is also a story for number 6 out there on the interwebs. You can find it at the Wiki fandom sites. I like to study films and do an extra work for a horror show in the summer. Your channel looks like it can help. I can help you out, Red Pool. I do all the research for my Coffee Chat of Horrors. I do have a partner in crime here by the name of Reaper1923 who creates the beautiful infographics that you see. But I do all the research. And I look up interviews. I look up all sorts of things for this movie. I don't just go to IBM and look at the trivia there. I look at the trivia there, but then I also look for interviews with directors and actors. And then I go and take a look if anything else is out there or what kind of connections these films have with other films, so forth and so on. Usually the research takes me about a week to compile for a Coffee Chat of Horrors. So I usually know what I'm doing. Yeah, 6 and 7, they're supposedly coming. They're supposedly coming. It's good to see you as well, Christian. But yeah, I do a lot of research. I knew I was doing Underworld, so it took me a little bit to get all of the research and try to find interviews. What the biggest thing was I wanted to find was an interview with Len and an interview with Beckinsale. But there's a few interviews, but nothing crazy that had any really good information in them. When you watch this film, on the castle wall, there are several paintings of elder vampires, including a render of Vlad the Impaler, also known as Dracula. So when you watch this, take a look at the castle because they walk through. There's a point in this film where they walk through the castle and you see all the elder vampires of that coven. There is an actual rendering of Vlad the Impaler. I will. Thank you very much, Orchid, for that hydrate. Number 5 technically is the only up to 5 that are made. 6 and 7 are coming. There's a story out on the interwebs for number 6. Is Kate Beckinsale the SNL? I have no idea. I don't watch SNL. I stopped watching it after it all started getting too politically correct. I used to watch it way back in the day when it was actually funny. Now, first movie of the franchise was released more than 3 years apart from the previous ones. And yeah, I don't have time to do research and graphics. No, I know what I'm looking at. Yeah. She helps every now and again, Riggs, when she has time. But for the most part, all of the research, it does take a while to do. Thank you, PBJ Time. Welcome to the Crypt. Thank you for the follow. This is the first time Resident Evil movie and Underworld movie have both been released in the same month. Both franchises are distributed by the parent company, Sony. Remember I told you a couple back in the previous films here where Resident Evil is brought up, especially the part where Celine wakes up in the hospital gown. A lot of this is a throw at Resident Evil. Some of the stuff in the later ones are a throw at Resident Evil. Sony is the parent company of both films. And, well, they played a little bit of each of that in the later films. Especially when it comes to 2006 Evolution. We definitely do, Reaper. We definitely do. And that is all we have for Underworld itself, the entire franchise. Again, as I said, as we get further and further into the Underworld information, as it goes, there is less and less information based on the films as you get further along. Yeah. Easter eggs, throwbacks, nods. In the horror industry, there's a lot of that goes on. You have Wes Craven films that throw nods to Carpenter films, and Carpenter films that throw nods at Raimi films, and so forth and so on. That's a very well-known thing in the horror industry, where they're always the masters of horror. And I say masters with an S because there's numerous masters of horror. I don't believe one horror director is better than the other. They each have brought something unique to their films and storyline. And each of them have thrown throwbacks and nods to other horror films. Idle Hands has numerous throwbacks to a whole bunch of different horror films. And you can actually see them in Nightmare on Elm Street. You could see it in The Thing. You can see some even in Phantasm. Same here, PB. Same here. I love finding out small details about film, stuff that normally doesn't talk about, like seeing photos from funnies or bloopers. Right, Orchid? Same. No, I don't have a Slurpee. Probably not. But we don't actually know what will happen. Idle Hands, fucking great film. It's one of my favorites. Robert Englund plays Scarecrow in Justice 2, and it's quite funny to see people in the horror industry. Kane Hodder plays numerous other parts outside of the horror industry, right? Are we ready for the Terra Trivia for Underworld? Terra Trivia is 4 questions, and it is about the information that we learned here today. So if you were here at the start of Coffee Chat of Horrors, which started a little after 10 o'clock my time, then you'd know majority of the answers. We have gone through all of the Underworld information, and now it's time for Terra Trivia. And mods, are we ready for the first one? Injustice 2 is DC? I'm not really huge into the whole Marvel DC shit. My comic books are Hellraiser, Army of Darkness, that kind of comic books. I don't really do DC and Marvel. I really don't know anything about them. Or honestly, I don't really know anything about them. They're not my type of comic book. My type of comic book is in the horror genre. And so Creepshow, Tales from the Crypt, Hellraiser, Clive Barker's comic book series, Hellraiser, and Army of Darkness. Those also Freddy Krueger's comic. You're gonna time out Dahi? All right, are we ready? Number 1. What does Selene mean in Greek mythology? That was one of the first things I stated right off the bat when we started. What does the name Selene mean in Greek mythology? I know. It's your childhood. Oh, and Elvira. And Ice is right. Oh, wait, Spage 92 had it. He just spelled it wrong, so Spage. Oh, does she? Does she sarcastic? I don't know if Spage has Streamloots. Ice, you have Streamloots though, right? So give him 5,000 limbs. We'll give him limbs. I have her comic book set from the 80s. In plastic. Underneath Truckee. In the lower shelving unit, that's where all my horror comic books are. I have the full set of the Elvira from the 80s. And I do have her comic book set later on down the road that she did. How are your balls doing? They're so fucking good. It's nice and soft in the center, Joy. You know how you get these and sometimes you bite into it and the middle is a little hard? These are all nice and soft. And Miss BTW, you have a great day as well. Thank you for all of the love today, guys. Seriously, thank you for waking up early, coming into the stream, hanging out with me, chit-chatting. 80K, 26 fucking subs in one shot, man. You took over the lead. Thank you so very much. Thank you to everybody who gifted subs and dropped tiggle bitties and sat here and hung out and discussed the movie with me and lurked. I appreciate each and every one of you. I heard they were making the Blade films. I don't know if they're remaking. It's going to be really horrible if they remake them. Blade doesn't need a remake. They really don't. They don't need a remake. Happy Sunday. Happy lazy Sunday to you, all of you. I agree, Joy Toy. Happy lazy Sunday. I've got things to do after the stream, so it's not going to be so fucking lazy for me. But thank you. He's right there. He can see him. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for participating in our conversations. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending your time with me. Look at all those things. Look at all those names, right? Mods, thank you so very much for taking the time out of your Sunday to come here, to keep the chat clean, to hand out Streamloots chests and do what you guys do the best. We only had one Dingleberry here today, so that's pretty friggin' amazing. To be honest, I don't really care. It's my gaming name, not my real one. Okay, no worries, Gilly. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us. The Wesley version doesn't need it. No, they don't, Sundog. It doesn't need. It does not need it. Steel, I hope you're having a great week. I hope the weekend has been really good for you. Say hi to the big guy in the back. Yeah, he's reading, Chad. He's reading. We are going to get ready to raid. We're going to go through our credits here because these are some big ass credits. You have a great Sunday as well. Klepto, I'm going to send you some tracking. I got to remind myself to send you some tracking just in case if you don't get this one. There's also insurance on it.
Reanimator.
See you later, Fear. See you later. Hopefully we get to see you again. Don't be such a stranger. I got called worse than Jilly. Yeah. I butcher names. That's why I ask how to pronounce people's names. I wish more people were like that. Most people get butthurt for saying yes, right, Joy Toy? That's why I feel so bad, and I always try to tell or say their actual names. But we're gonna get ready to raid, guys. We're gonna get ready to raid. And where's our command? There we go. There's the command. I'm sorry, Calling Hand. I'm sorry. Oh shit! I knew he was behind me, but I wasn't expecting that. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out with me. I'm live tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. come hang out with me then, or you can chill with me in Discord. We love to hang out in Discord. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. That is the raid command that you guys can do. Yeah, it scares the shit out of me. Let's go, guys. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. I love your guts. I love your faces. Happy Sunday. Have a great weekend. And I will slash you guys later. Bye-bye.